Right, it's got to be said, there's a distinct possibility of postscripts. Right, hello there, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this video. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I do a series of daily brain teaser quizzes. I also talk about movies I've caught, and you may want to check out the little eye in the corner there, because I'll try and put links in, if I remember, to both under that eye card there in the corner. I also talk about TV shows I'm watching, and over the past few weeks, I've been watching Star Trek Discovery's 4th season. It's had good episodes and bad episodes, but last night I saw episode 12, Species 10C, and I thought I should maybe tell you about it. Episode 12, Species 10C, opens with the usual summary of previous episodes and then shifts to show us the Discovery heading straight for the hyperfield occupied by the 10C. Once at range, it slows down so that the diplomatic team, led by President Relak, Sheila Hallstall, can work out exactly what to do next and work out, if they can, how to communicate with the 10C. It also sees Captain Burnham, Sonequa Martin It also sees Captain Burnham, Sonequa Martin Green, warning the president that they may have to put contingency plans into action if they can't figure out how to talk to the 10C. It's only after the diplomatic team get to a briefing from Dr. Culper, Wilson Cruz, the team works out the best way to start a conversation with the 10C. Send out the hydrocarbon they've learned about in an earlier episode, the one that means peace, in the hope that the 10C understand it means we come in peace, and doesn't mean shoot to kill. Now, what did I make of this episode? What did I make of Species 10C? I have to admit, I'm actually rather impressed with this episode, partly because cast and writing is on form again this week, certainly on a par with this season's first and second episodes. And normally, let me have a double check there, the first and second episodes were Kobayashi Maru and Anomaly. They were on a par. That's possibly no surprise there, I think, as all three episodes, Kobayashi Maru, Anomaly, and Species 10C, were directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi, and I'll apologise now if I've got the name wrong there. I'm hopeless with African names, I really am. But I think his direction is responsible for keeping Species 10C jogging along at a good pace. It's a remarkably well-paced episode. I've criticised some episodes this season for being a little too chatty, a little too talky, a little too dialogue heavy. And while you could possibly accuse Species 10C of being that, there's a lot of brainstorming about communication going on. So, yes, there's talk. It is talky, but it's that talkiness, that chattiness, that exposition is countered by good emphasis on both action and spectacle. Species 10C in this episode, Star Trek, I think, has managed to take a hint or two from the late Ian M. Banks, God rest his soul, his culture novels. In other words, the show's shown us the 10C's home space, the hyperfield. It's got 3 bloody great gas giants in it that are all exactly the same size and density and what have you. It's a huge, great, artificially created culture style artifact. It's wonderful to see. There's a little thing where the crew that want to meet the 10C in person, the 10C send them a ship, and it's like a little metallic bubble that then has a door, a Federation-style door, appear. And it's wonderful to watch. So I think somebody owes Ian M. Banks a nod there, I think. Species 10C also seems to be going in for other things as well. There's a whole plot thread about Book, David Ajala, and Taka Ruan, or Ruan Taka, the Sean Doyle character, arguing and looking like they're going their separate ways. And it also puts Tig Notaro's Commander Reno in a position to be a hero and gives her a lot of much needed backstory, I think. On top of that, this episode is the penultimate one, so it has a nice, edgy cliffhanger ending. That, frankly, means just one thing, as far as I'm concerned, at any rate. It means I'm going to be sitting down to the last episode, which is called Coming Home. I'm going to be sitting down to that on Friday the 17th of June. I'll be reviewing it by Saturday the 18th of June, and I'll be looking forward to it all week. I will see you then, and you can let me know what you thought as well. Take care, have fun, be good, live long and prosper. Right, just as a footnote, I mentioned Jet Reno, Commander Jet Reno, the ship's engineer, played by Tig Notaro. I've got to admit, I usually go for the ship's doctors. They're usually, in Star Trek, they're usually my favourite character, all the way from Dr. McCoy going forward. And Hugh Culmer does a good job, I should say at this point. He's possibly the first character I've seen in a series of Star Trek to use a term in Polari. Long story, maybe I'll explain that another time, but he uses the phrase zhuzhing. At any rate, this time around in Star Trek Discovery, I've got to admit, Jet Reno is possibly one of my favourite Star Trek characters. She's grouchy, she's sympathetic, she's wise, and she's genuinely funny. What possibly helps there is simply that the actress that plays her, Tig Notaro, is quite a well-known stand-up comedian in the US. I might, and I don't know if I will or I won't, but I might just have to check out some of her stuff just to see what's powering the character. Probably worth a go. Right, just as a final postscript for UK Star Trek fans, is it just me? Is it just am I the only person who, whenever he hears the phrase "we come in peace," automatically thinks of Star Trekking? We come in peace, shoot to kill, man. Yeah, sorry about that.